So, hi everyone, and welcome to Unabridged Adventures. I'm Ilana, and this is my channel where I talk about all things bookish. And my laptop is almost dying. I am in a very different environment right now. I am busy pet sitting actually for some friends of my family's. And so if I get interrupted by a dog, I am sorry. This is the third time that I have tried to film this video, and they have not been cooperative, so we'll see how it goes. But this is the wrong book. Today I will be reviewing She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan, and oh my god, I can't wait to talk about this. I'm actually going to be doing two videos on this book. One is this review, where I just kind of do a quick spoiler-free review about it. If it's at all something that you're interested in, you can kind of find out. And then the other one will be more of like an analysis video. I am still a college student. I'm used to kind of like analyzing all the stuff that I read, and so there's a lot of things that I want to talk about that I'll mention here, but then like elaborate on there. Yeah, so I'm very bad at summarizing books. I will 100% admit that. So I did grab the summary off of Goodreads, or like the quick blurb for it. So I didn't entirely know that this was historical going into it, which is something I find interesting because I was looking up the names for the pronunciation. That's another thing. I am not used to pronouncing Chinese names, so I looked them up. I'm doing my best here. I am so sorry if I mess it up. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. One of the main issues that I had while trying to find the pronunciations is there is a disagreement online of whether it should be Su or Chu or like Shu or Zhu for the main character. I'm gonna say Su Changba. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Su because that's one that I've seen quite a bit. If it's Chu, I'm so sorry. I I really tried here. But again, feel free to correct me. I will put the spellings of the names here just so you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, so I think that was the main one that I had difficulty finding the pronunciation for. So, synopsis. Goodreads said it's Mulan meets the Song of Achilles. I don't know why I'm saying Mulan don't know why I'm saying that so weirdly. But Mulan meets the Song of Achilles in Shelley Parker Chan's She Who Became the Sun, a bold, queer, and lyrical reimagining of the rise of the founding emperor of the Ming Dynasty, from an amazing new voice in literary fantasy. To possess the mandate of heaven, the female monk Su will do anything. And so that's just like the little top piece from Goodreads. And I went into this not knowing a ton about it. I'd read a different synopsis, and it did not mention that it was queer, so that was a fun surprise that I'm going to talk about later. But yeah, so again, like I said, this is not a culture that I am personally, like, I don't have much personal experience in relation to Chinese culture. And so I can't really speak to the historical like accuracy of it, or like how much it strays from like other stories about these people. Just looking at it from a book perspective, I thought it was a very compelling, very well done book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I enjoyed it just based on like the narrative itself without really examining it as a kind of historical retelling. So someone who has more experience with this culture and has learned this history might have a different perspective on this, and I would love to hear if you do, like down in the comments. That would be an amazing thing to hear about. But yeah, I will be talking about this from a more just narrative perspective. I don't know if you could hear Ziggy over here barking. He is very clingy. I'm sorry if you can hear him. I went ahead and wrote a bit of a spoiler-free review on Storygraph, which is what I'm kind of now using instead of Goodreads, just because Goodreads is so frustrating. And so basically what I said was just that this book, like most of its characters, is absolutely brutal. It is heart-wrenching and beautiful, and it's not afraid to hurt you at all. And I absolutely loved every second of reading it. It was Oh my gosh, it's really fast paced. It is like just pulling you along throughout this whole novel. And I will be surprised if people read it and don't love it because it is just such a compelling story, I think. There's so much, like, you really get to see inside the characters' heads, to see their motivations, to understand, and even though a lot of the characters are more like morally gray, you can really see what's driving them and like can really feel for even the worst characters at times. And so one of the phrases that really comes to mind whenever I'm trying to describe this book is binary breaking. And I don't know if that really makes sense to everyone else, but from concepts like gender and race, and even just the idea of like and unalike, which is something that is kind of discussed a lot in the book about like is drawn to like. Parker Chan kind of sets up these ideas like man, woman, Mongol, and Chinese, or Han, and just even the ideas of like and unlike, and then just completely destroys them later on. And it is so masterfully done. And it's very subtle, it's not like over the top, it's just another part of the narrative. And so I just thought that was an amazing part. I'm really going to go into the kind of binary breaking in my analysis video because there's so much there to discuss, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think once you've read it, or if you've already read it, like let me know what you think about that. But yeah, I'm really going to dive into that deeper in my analysis video. So a lot of the characters, like I said before, are just utterly ruthless, but there's also like a self-awareness about a lot of them that makes for some really interesting character development, especially with the main character. And so if you like kind of that morally gray, power-hungry like character that's also like queer and like who knows what their gender is sort of thing, then I think you will love this. I do want to talk about like just content warnings because there is like one or two pretty explicit sex scenes. So if that's something you're uncomfortable with, I think you can probably go through and skip it. They're only like a few pages long, and it doesn't detract from the story as a whole. But there are also a few like not as explicit sex scenes, but it's up for you to decide what you're comfortable with. And then there's also quite a bit of graphic violence because this is a story that kind of centers on war and the idea of conquest and like, yeah. So if you don't like graphic violence, this probably isn't the book for you, unfortunately. You can't really skip past that because it does make up a large portion of it. But onto the queer characters. So the main character, Sue, is queer. Getting more specific, she is posing as a man for a good portion of the book and is even trying to convince like heaven that she is a man. And she ends up married to a woman while still masquerading as a man. And then also, because of this whole time where she's not really accepting the fact that she is a woman, there is some serious, as my friend Serenity on Discord put it, some serious gender fuckery going on that is amazing to read and really kind of relatable whenever you're someone that's like gone through the whole figuring out your gender process. So yeah, just absolutely well done. And that's just one character. Of course, there's the woman that she's married to. There's the other main character that's a man, but he's also a eunuch, which kind of puts him in this weird spot gender-wise. And also, he is in love with another man, and that other man is kind of in love with him. So there's sapphic people, there are gay guys. It's just there's a lot of queer stuff happening. So yeah, if sounds like something that you are at all interested in, I absolutely recommend that you check it out. This is such a beautiful book that I think I'm going to reread so many times. Oh, I don't remember if I don't think I've said it already, but it is a part of a duology. So there is one more book coming after this. and I'm not sure when it will come out. I will put that down in the description below. But if you do pick this up, please let me know what you think. If you've already read it, like, let's chat in the comments because I adore this book. It is probably one of my favorite reads of all of 2021. So, oh my God. I really hope that you enjoy it as much as I do, and I hope that we can chat in my analysis video a bit more about specific things. So thank you. All of my links will be down in the description for my social media, my story graph, all of that. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!